Let's move from the United States to Canada now because another immigration shock is unfolding over there. And this one, it could directly affect international students who thought that their Canadian education it would lead to a work permit. What happens when you spend tens of thousands of dollars on a Canadian diploma, graduate, and then suddenly receive an email saying that your post-graduation work permit application has been refused? Well, that is the reality thousands of international college graduates across Alberta, Ontario, British Columbia are facing. Students are opening their inboxes and finding official IRCC's refusal notice. Now, in many of these cases, the reason being cited is the same. The program completed by the applicant was classified as a non-credit program of study. Now, pause here because this distinction it is extremely important. Many international students assume that they are studying at a designated learning institution, basically a DLI. Then their diploma will automatically make them eligible for a foreign post-graduation work permit. But that assumption, it can be dangerous for you. The issue is that IRCC, they look at a specific program, not simply the name of the college. According to the resources, this refusal wave is mainly affecting continuing education diploma and certificate program, including programs delivered through satellite campuses and formal public-private curriculum licensing arrangement. Well, for many students who may have spent about tens of hundreds of dollars into their tuition fee, the financial shock here, it can be a lot. They didn't just spend money on the course. They may have moved countries, rented homes, left jobs, borrowed money, and built their entire future around the expectation that they would be able to work in Canada after graduation. And then comes the refusal letter. And according to many resources, once a PGWP application is formally refused, the applicant's implied status and legal authorization to work in Canada, it terminates on the day the refusal is received. That means a graduate who was working legally can suddenly find themselves in a completely different situation. So, how did this happen? Well, the story goes back to the changes made by IRCC to its public guidance. On June 24th, IRCC updated its official guidance on Guide 5580 and its PGWP eligibility page. The updated wording specifically stated that completing a non-credit program of study makes an applicant ineligible for a PGWP. IRCC says that this was a classification of existing requirements rather than a brand new policy. But here, student advocates, immigration consultants, and legal professionals, they have raised concern because according to many resources, earlier government portals did not explicitly contain the same non-credit exclusion language. And that is creating a serious problem here. Why? Because some students are enrolled in these programs as early as 2024. They were told by recruiters, marketing material, and college enrollment information that their credentials would qualify them for a 3-year PGWP after graduation. So imagine being that student. You arrive in Canada believing that you have a clear path. Study, graduate, get a work permit, gain Canadian experience, and eventually build a long-term future there. But at the end of that journey, you discover that exact classification of your program may prevent you from getting the work permit that you expected. Well, that is a gap between what students were told at enrollment and what immigration authorities are enforcing at graduation. And yes, this is why students need to look far beyond the college's name. According to resources, emphasis that credit-bearing status matters here. Well, a program should lead to an official academic degree, diploma, or certificate that awards recognized academic credit towards a formal post-secondary credentials, continuing education certificate, professional development program, non-credit courses, and customized training modules. They may not meet that particular standard. Even satellite and partner campuses, that can also create complications because program delivered at different locations may have different classifications. And yes, there are other changes too. Non-degree college diploma applicants face language requirement, with many resources identifying a minimum Canadian language benchmark of 5 across all four abilities, while university degree graduates require about CLB 7. Certain non-degree programs also face field of study restrictions tied to areas such as healthcare, STEM, trade, and agriculture. And here public-private curriculum licensing arrangements are no longer PGWP eligible for students who enrolled after May 15, 2024 cutoff date. So, in the end, what should the international students do? Do not rely only on what a recruiter tells you. Get written confirmation from the college registrar after the exact classification of your program. Verify the DLI and CIP information through official Canadian government sources before paying the tuition deposit. And if you receive a PGWP refusal, speak to a qualified Canadian immigration professionals immediately just to understand what options may be available for you. Because a college being eligible does not automatically mean that every program inside that college is eligible. And that is the lesson that international students across Canada need to understand before making a life-changing financial decision. But yes, Canada's immigration uncertainty does not stop with work permit. For thousands of applicants, another deadline is now racing towards them, and this one has a date attached to it.